Hi, I'm Evan. Thank you for visiting the Only Empty Hands channel. This is a place where you can increase your health, wellness, and safety through martial arts, yoga, as well as fitness training. There's lots of information on here, so make sure that you check out the how to use this channel video. It's got a link that appears at the bottom, and then it'll also come up on the screen at the end. What I'm going to talk about today is one of the most simple things you would think, yet it's also one of the most difficult to fully master, and that's breathing. Obviously, we do it every day, right? You've been doing it since you were born, and it should be something we would think that is just very natural, but it's really not. A lot of people don't breathe deeply enough, and then when you take something like the martial arts, Tai Chi, Qi Kung as breakouts, and we talk about how to breathe in that context, there's some really important things that you need to remember. Also, if you get this stuff down, it's just going to improve how you feel overall. It'll help you be more focused, give you more health, more longevity, that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is we're going to kind of run the spectrum here. There's a foundation to all breathing that I'm going to teach you, and then I'm going to talk about how that changes between Kempo, which is taught on this channel, through exercises that are more to develop your internal energy. Also yoga breathing, for the yoga that's on here. But my focus is going to be on the martial arts. So the first thing I want you to understand as you're breathing, so obviously anatomically, right? If we look at our body, we've got our lungs, we have our diaphragm down here. So when we breathe in, we want to fill all of our lungs. So the better your posture is, the more you have your shoulders in the right place and your chest up, and that you can fill down low and fill all the way up, the more breath you're going to be able to get into your lungs. But you also need to support that breath. And so from about here on down, from below the diaphragm, running all the way into your pelvis, down into the groin area, your butt area, all of that, I want you to visualize that just kind of as basically like a basket that is going to hold not only the internal parts of your body in place, but it's also going to hold this breath. And there's going to be a slight feeling of tension through that basket area when you're breathing that's going to support. So you'll feel just a subtle kind of pushing down into that as it's lightly contracted, just when you're doing a normal breath. And then you want to really expand everything that's above that point so that you can fill your lungs with as much air as possible. And so there's kind of a give and take relationship that's there. When we increase the power of our breath, like when we yell or kiai in karate, we really tighten everything down. And so there's a lot of force that goes into these lower areas, prepares us to impact, drives the force more powerfully, lets us get hit without getting hurt. All of those kinds of things are important there. When I'm teaching you to move the chi or the energy within your body, we're never going to breathe out that hard, but we're still going to maintain that light tension in that area that's holding everything. Think of it kind of as holding in this breath and energy that we're developing as we breathe. So let's go from different ends of the spectrum. So first one, the harshest type of breath that I'm going to teach you in the martial arts is what's called a kiai. That's the yell that you hear. And so that one, when I did that, obviously I had a lot more, I had the supported sense, but the moment I yelled and put out that breath, everything tightened up, prepared me to get hit and also to hit powerfully. Okay, so I'm going straight through whatever's in my way when I yell or breathe that way. As we move along, that's a very fast breath too, because the movement's going to be fast. But if I come over to this other end of the spectrum, let's say we're doing something like a circular motion where we're coordinating our breath and really trying to feel our energy flow. So that breath, I kept the support in place. There was that light tension there, but the rest of the breath is very fluid. My breath is coming out at the speed that the movement is happening. So you have a coordination between your breathing, your body movement, and your mind that's happening. Same thing happened when I kiai'd, right? It was just very fast and it all happened explosively at once. In that slower movement, I'm gaining more breath control, I'm feeling my body more, I'm becoming aware maybe of more things that are going on while I'm moving. And so it's a much more meditative kind of practice. So both have their place. Both are great for you as far as what you are going to be able to learn how to do as a result of practicing these different kinds of breathing. You can always do seated or standing meditation where you just stand there and breathe. Same thing, you just want that really good posture, that support around and underneath, filling your lungs and bringing out in a controlled manner, trying to extend the amount of time that it takes you to breathe out and breathe in, and you're gaining more breath control. The final piece of breathing that I'd like to talk about is just shy of the ki. It's kind of breathing that I use in karate when I'm doing repeated movements. So my first movement may be with that loud ki, but obviously I can't keep screaming forever if I'm going to throw multiple strikes. And so what I do is I meter the breathing, and I'll breathe out. You'll hear me kind of hissing like a snake on some of the karate videos on here. And what I'm doing is I'm still creating that same tension and power that I create with the ki, but I'm doing it in a short, explosive type of breathing, so it lets me kind of not completely empty my lungs out as I'm going. So, excuse me, all this yelling and talking. So, for example, let's say I did a technique, and I'll just do a simple one that has, like 4 moves, and then I'll stop. So I'm going to ki on the first movement. It's going to startle the person. It's going to be maximum power, insert my presence. I'm going to dominate the space, but then I need to keep that power flowing. And so you'll watch me control my breathing with those short bursts of air. So that way, all of the air wasn't gone. Obviously the ki let out a burst of air, but then I was able to keep going through multiple strikes and keep that tension every time I made impact. So hopefully this is helpful to you. Like I say, just to start to understand these different kinds of breathing and things that you're going to see here on this channel. Very important stuff. It helps you in other things too, like anyone who lifts weights that's watching this, you use a form of this kind of breathing. If you sing in a choir, you understand what I'm talking about. It's all very much the same thing. We might use different words to describe what we're doing or use it in different ways, but good breathing is good breathing, and it's existed in a lot of things. So thank you for watching. Leave any comments, questions. If there's stuff you'd like to see on the channel, please let me know. Subscribe. And then remember, watch the how to use this channel video so you can really get the benefit out of all the diversity of what's on here. Have a great day.